This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. You are here at the Views Expressed, the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com for the 29th of November, 2012. How y'all doing? If you're in the chat room, if you're listening, pop in, say hi. You know, I'd like to know you're there. Really. Hey, a lot of things. A lot of news to cover today. Lots of news to cover today. And I'll get to that after the break. There's been a lot of talk, man. A lot of talk. Big news, man. Palestine has been given... I'll get into more information about what the UN has done. There's plenty of information. Go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. You'll see the stories before I will. So much information that I don't know what to do. I may not rant as much today because there's so much news out there. I may not do any of that. We do not have open phones today, or open Skype line, I'd like to say. Jot this number down for tomorrow for Open Forum Friday. 1-775-241-4749. Okay? And if you have Skype, you can go to the contacts and put in ULCREV, as in Victor, 62, ULC Rev 62, and I'll accept your contact. And you can call in tomorrow on Open Forum Friday for the first, I believe for the first half hour of the show we will have. As a matter of fact, let me do this now. And while I'm on the air with you, to ask Angel Clark if she will be here tomorrow. So, and anyway, we'll get her take on what she sees is coming down the line. It's interesting. It is very, very interesting to see that people, well, really have no clue. I was just talking to my girlfriend, Diana. I keep saying girlfriend. She's my fiance. And she was telling me that she told someone at work that, is it true that our taxes are going up after January? And somebody looked at her and said, only if you make $250,000 or more. No, it's going up for everyone, okay? It's going up for everyone, all right? That's just the way it is. So, anyway, I'm going to take the break early, and we shall return right after this.
Samo Radio, playing music for free so you can listen longer. Samo.
It's the 5 o'clock drive with Samo.
Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Listen to Angel Clark Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Radio Freedom News Network. RadioFreedom.com.
Sometimes it's news, sometimes it's politics, but it always involves my opinion. Come join me, BK, on That BK Show, every weekday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, here on KTRNradio.com. Bring in the talk.
Are you an actor looking for a place to promote your work? Do you do voiceover work and want others to hear what you do? Go to Eastland Entertainment and get your work seen and heard. Eastland Entertainment is your one-stop shop in the Reno, Nevada area for all of your entertainment needs. Eastland Entertainment will promote your work for you. Eastland Entertainment also produces original short films and radio plays through Eastland Radio Films. For more information, contact them at eastlandentertainment@usa.com or go to the Eastland Radio Films website at eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. That's eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/eastlandfilms. This is the Views Expressed for the 29th of November 2012. Thank you for being here. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Got a lot of news to cover. So let's get into it, shall we? Big news. Huge news on several fronts. And, well, I don't know where to begin, but let's begin at the beginning, shall we? It's this. Go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. The first article you will see is from AVAZ or AVAAZ.org. Excuse me, I just had lunch. Welcome Palestine, number 194. The UN General Assembly has voted overwhelmingly to recognize Palestine as the world's 194th state. With over 130 countries voting in favor, including most of Europe, today marks a major step forward towards peace and justice in the Middle East. Just weeks ago, the decision was expected to be substantially closer, with Israel and the U.S. lobbying hard to deny Palestine key European support, a cynical attempt to delegitimize a favorable vote. But in the face of major public pressure and vigorous campaigning by the AVAZ community, I don't know how you pronounce that, by the way, countries such as France, Spain, Belgium, and Sweden decided to vote yes to statehood for Palestine. Just 9 countries didn't vote. In a total, 138 countries voted to support the Palestinians, including most EU countries. Several countries that had been expected to vote no, such as Germany and Australia, chose instead to abstain, paving the way for the overwhelming endorsement of statehood. In a remarkable admission, an Israeli official speaking to Haaretz before the vote said, "We lost Europe." The UN General Assembly's recognition of Palestine today marks a historic and hopeful moment for a tragic conflict. It establishes the states of Israel and Palestine as sovereign neighbors and legal equals, and rescues the two-state solution from imminent demise. With Europe and the new Middle East signaling their determination to resolve this conflict, the balance of power has shifted away from the U.S. and Israeli hegemony, and the promise of two states living peacefully side by side is closer. Okay? You want to read that article, click on the link on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. So what does that mean? Well, if you look back in history, and if you study the New World Order, and you study Henry Kissinger's writings from 1971-72 when he was Defense Secretary and also Secretary of State, you will see what this means. You thwart the conflict. You end the conflict in the Middle East by doing what just happened today. Are there still going to be fights? Are there still going to be rockets? Is Hamas and all that still going to be trying to eliminate Israel? Oh, I'm pretty sure. Is Iran going to sit back and say they're going to wipe Israel off the map? They still want to do that, but is it possible now? Okay? Well, you can say whatever you want and speculate till the cows come home. But what this means is the New World Order, world dominance, world governance, a one world order with a one world leader is very, very close. I want to give a shout out to ViperRadio.com. ViperRadio.com. VYPER Radio.com. Go check out the Not So Normal Terra Normal show on ViperRadio.com. My opinion is basically this. The fighting should have stopped years ago. And everybody who's standing on one side or the other who says, well, Palestinians have a right and Israelis have a right and blah, 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 blah. Let me point something out to you people that I think you forgot. And it's just me. They're human beings. What color are they? What nationality are they? What religion? I don't care. They're human beings. Well, we got to support one over the other. Ha, ha, ha. And I cannot, and again, just me, I cannot understand why people want to take sides without taking into consideration that these people have families and friends and sons and daughters and in-laws and all of that have been killed by each other. Okay? They're human beings. But then again, we also have to look at Al-Qaeda, Hamas, all this, all that, and get into the little what the ramifications are with the United States supporting Israel and Russia supporting the Palestinians. They are. Go look at it. It's on record. I mean, come on. Come on. It's there. And we have to look at that. And sorry, just typing a reply to someone. But anyway, we have to look at that. They're human beings. Okay? Somebody asked me once, well, okay, if you look at the Palestinians, you look at the Israelis, bring that home, bring that here. You got gangs of every nationality and background fighting for turf in the cities, for drugs, for the sales, for this, for that, and they get guns and all this and all that. Why do you think this happens? That's a question that has been posed to me. Why does that happen? I said, because it's ego, it's competition, it's all of that. And they asked me personally. They asked me. I was at, if I remember correctly, I was at Jackson Rancheria Casino in Jackson, California when I was working there. And one of the people that I was working with, one of my coworkers, asked me about what I thought about legalization of marijuana. I went, why not? People are killing themselves and each other over it. Why not decriminalize it and legalize it and get it out of the streets so that people can at least, cut down on the crime? Then they said, well, you got heroin, you got cocaine, you got crack, you just got all this stuff, right? Why is it other countries have decriminalized, not legalized, decriminalized all of their what we would consider illegal drugs, and when you look at their crime rate has plummeted to almost nothing, and their people who were at one point addicted to all these drugs has gone down considerably. And here's why. Here's the mentality of human beings. If you're told that you cannot have it, if you're told that you cannot have it, what is the first thing you do? You think about getting it because nobody's going to tell you what you can't have. I'm going to get it anyway. Screw you. And you do everything you do to get whatever it is you want. You were that way as a kid. You were that way as a young adult. You're that way as an adult. No one is going to tell me I can't have that. As an adult, we mature, we understand, we go from there, we work at it, But as a kid and a young person, no one's going to tell me, What, drugs are bad? Screw it, I'm going to go out and get drugs anyway. What? Now here's the thing, though. Speaking of drugs, and I'll get on to the next article. Why do you think a young person, a teenager, a young adult in their early 20s, 19, 20, 21, 22, why do you think they don't want to get a minimum wage job? Hey, if you made $1,000 a day in less than 4 hours, do you think you would want to work a day job? No, I don't think so. On average, that's what it is. And with marijuana, you don't get as much from that as you do with cocaine and all these other drugs. So let's just decriminalize them all. Not legalize, totally different thing. Go look it up. Decriminalize all of them. You can legalize marijuana. There's medicinal results in that, and you can find that all over the place. Go to Late Night in the Midlands. They have information about that as well. And why not just decriminalize it all? If people are going to do it, let them. If people want to put the cocaine and the heroin and all that into their veins and die, let them. By the way, when there's no reason for them to sneak around to get it and to sell it behind in dark corners somewhere, they won't want it. And if they still want it, there's always going to be somebody that wants it. Let me tell you what the new drug is. Let me tell you what the new drug is. The new drug is going to be electronic. The new drug is going to be part of an implant. The new drug, which was talked about in a book called Tech War. William Shatner wrote the book. It's a sci-fi book. Other sci-fi writers have talked about certain things in that regard. But the new drug is going to be tech. Hell, how many hours do you sit looking at Facebook? How many hours do you spend on your cell phone? How many hours? You're already addicted. So all they have to do is give you a little something, a little implant, and it is on record that they can electronically shoot a beam of energy to you, either a sound wave or something, and make you do what they want, or keep you from doing what you want. It is on record. MIT, Columbia University has white papers on this. NASA talks about this. And guess who is putting it all together? DARPA. Yep. Go look it up. Okay? Seriously. Go look it up. I have never... hang on. I'm going to hold on to that. Let me finish my thought. I have never seen anyone who would ever look at me and tell me that they have looked this stuff up and admit to me that I'm right. And here's why. They don't want to admit they're wrong. I'm sorry, I'm silent there, I know. Bad radio, dead air, I know. Let me, I've got to answer somebody here. Sorry, God, there are, there are people out there who will come to me and say, hey, I understand this, I know this, I disagree with you on certain things, I agree with you on certain things, and I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. It's when they look at me after saying all that and saying, well, but I'm going to stick to my guns. Okay, you're not going to give me I've seen people do this. They've never given me an explanation as to, number one, why they disagree with me. But it's okay if they do, that's fine. But they don't give me a reason why. And if they agree with me on some points, that's good too. I give them a high five. Not a big deal. Then they come back and say, but I'm going to stick with my guns. I know what I know. Really? I used to do that myself. Every once in a while, I catch myself doing it. And yes, I have over 30 years of research and material that I can show people. I've got stuff, let's put it this way, I've got documents. I'll just leave it at that. And I can show people. I can prove everything that I'm talking about. And if I can't find it right away, give me a few days, I will. Okay? So, I mean, that's what it is. No one wants to admit they're wrong. No one. I don't know anybody who wants to do that. I don't. Do you? I don't. Seriously. Now, go to in about 4.5 minutes, I'll go to the bottom of the hour break, and when I get back, here's some headlines. Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook, you'll find these. Is the Soros-sponsored Agenda 21 a hidden plan for world government? Yes, only it is not hidden. You can get that at secretsofthefed.com. Click on the link on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook there. Also, Obama versus Putin. We are never going to have world peace until our leaders have something to lose personally from war rather than just sending people to die so they and the banksters can profit from their sacrifice. You got a picture there of Obama riding a bike, playing golf, on The View, eating ice cream. You got Putin with a rifle in his hand. He's on a horse. He's by the way, a black belt in karate. Shows that, and he's got a fishing pole in his hand. Hey, I wouldn't mind going fishing with him. I don't like his politics, but yeah, why not? You know, we got that in common. Also, tell me what's happening in your neck of the woods, because check this out from Longview, Washington. Solitary confinement. Parents concerned over schools' use of isolation room. Solitary confinement? You be the judge. By the way, there's another picture up there. Newest version of the National Defense Authorization Act makes it easier to detain citizens indefinitely. Go read that one. Also, Oath Keepers. An Oath Keeper, 10 orders we will not obey. I'll read those when I get back. And, of course, I have pictures galore all over Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook there. Iceland's economy recovered from the financial crisis better than most because the government bailed out the people and jailed the bank criminals. The government bailed out the people and jailed the bank criminals. That's what we should have done here. Iceland was right. We are wrong. There's another one up there. Social Security does add to the deficit, and that's why it needs to be reformed. Also, the next generation of airport scanners will scan every single molecule in your body. That's been happening for the last 8 years, funded by DARPA. Actually started by In-Q-Tel, which is the finance arm of the CIA, and funded through DARPA. Go check that one out. Morning Bell. The danger of international internet regulation. blog.heritage.org. And from Washington, senators make bid to end indefinite detention in the NDAA. Someone just emailed me. They're on Facebook. And as you can tell, my cell phone is going crazy too. Certain things need to be looked at and need to be examined. And I encourage you to go and examine them. I'm not here to tell you what to do, what to think, what to believe. I'm just giving you the information. You may or may not agree with it. You may or may not, believe it. So, go out and do the research on your own. Go check it out. I encourage you to do that. Please. Please do that. This is the Liberty and Freedom Network. You're listening to the views expressed for the 29th of November. Broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Calvin Wheeler is an American dreamer in a triple threat cage match with his two biggest adversaries, everyday life and himself. His marriage to the woman he believed to be his soulmate is rapidly evaporating before his eyes. The book he's been working on for over a decade is slipping through his fingers as he struggles to complete it. As these pressures grow, Calvin compensates by conjuring up outrageous road rage scenarios in the multiplex of his mind. To make matters even worse, he drives for a living. As his life, job, and dreams simultaneously implode, his wild fantasies begin to literally bleed over into reality. Now, with a gun in one hand and a steering wheel in the other, this distant runner-up in the human race feels empowered for the very first time. And the moral to the story? Traffic can be murder. Red Asphalt by Scott Cherney. Available on the Kindle and in paperback at Amazon.com. It's New York, February 6, 1964. The Beatles are making their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show in one more day. The Plaza Hotel is crazy with the preparations. Alex Frazier, a desk clerk, has secretly let his brother Freddie use the penthouse suite for the evening so he can wine and dine the girl of his dreams. What Alex and Freddie don't know is the Secret Service are using the same room to hide spy novelist Henry Lade. His most recent novel has attracted the attention of the Soviets and East Germans. The communist countries believe Lade may have secretly discovered their plot to bomb Fresno. Assassins are dispatched to kidnap or kill Lade, whichever is easiest. What Agent John Parker and Henry Lade don't know is the Beatles are staying in the same room for their first appearance on American television. Let's Get Laid by Thomas Amo, available on the Kindle at Amazon.com. This is the Views Expressed. Welcome back. This is the 29th of November 2012. Thank you very much. This is the Liberty and Freedom Network, and we're broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Email us at libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. Yes. Thank you. This is Thursday, the 29th of November, 2012. Thank you very much. We have open forum Friday tomorrow. So if you want to call in, we will have Angel Clark from the Angel Clark Show. Hopefully. Cross our fingers. Hopefully. She hadn't been feeling well. I haven't been feeling well. We just haven't, things happen, Stuff happens, Dave. All right. Not a big deal. We have hopefully she'll be here tomorrow. I'm going to confirm that tonight, and if she's not, I'll let you guys know. Not a big deal. I'm so laid back here. If nobody wants to come on the show, it's okay. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna fret over it. No big deal. I'd like him to come on, but that's okay. No, she's cool. She has her own show. She's really, really busy. The Angel Clark Show at radiofreedom.us. You can read her blogs at SussexCountyAngel.com. And she's been on CNN and all those, so you might want to go check her show out. The Angel Clark Show, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern at radiofreedom.us. I'll also want to give a shout-out. If you've heard my phone go off and me, replying to someone, it is Terra Normal over at VyperRadio.com. VYPER Radio.com. Her show is the Not So Normal Terra Normal Show. So you might want to go over to VyperRadio.com. Check that one out. Check out when she's on. Funny. She's really nice, really funny, very entertaining. And yeah, she will need her coffee. I'll just leave it at that. She will need her coffee. So I think we all do. Anyway, go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Go check that out. Click on the link that says, "Is the Soros-sponsored Agenda 21 a hidden plan for world government?" Yes, only it's not so hidden. This was written by... Oh, it doesn't have a byline on here. So it's over at secretsofthefed.com. Click on the link there on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. I can't see an author for this, but I will say thank you, secretsofthefed.com. What is Agenda 21? Well, if you don't know about it, you should. Agenda 21 is a 2-decade-old grand plan for global, here's the catchword, folks, sustainable development. If you have that going on in your city, county, or state, you better protest like you've never protested before. It's Agenda 21, United Nations Policy Agenda 21. Go look it up. I'm encouraging you. Okay, please go look it up. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm asking. Would you please go look this up? Thank you. I appreciate that. Agenda 21 is a 2-decade-old grand plan for global sustainable development brought to you from the United Nations. George H.W. Bush, King Bush the First, as I'd like to refer to him as, him and 177 other world leaders agreed to it back in 1992. In 95, Bill Clinton signed an executive order. Check this one out, folks. Executive order number 12858, creating a presidential council on sustainable development. This effectively pushed the UN plan into America's large churning government machine without a need for any review or discussion by Congress or the American people. Sustainable development sounds like a nice idea, right? It sounds nice until you scratch the surface and find that Agenda 21 and sustainable development are really cloaked plans to impose the tenets of social justice and socialism on the world. There's a video associated with that article you may want to check out as well. At risk from Agenda 21 is A, private property ownership. B, single-family homes. C, private car ownership and individual travel choices. And D, privately owned farms. The Agenda 21 plan openly targets private property. For over 35 years, the UN has made their stance very clear on the issue of individuals owning land. Quote, land cannot be treated as an arbitrary asset, controlled by individuals and subject to the pressures and inefficiencies of the market. Private land ownership is also a principal instrument of accumulation and concentration of wealth, and therefore contributes to social injustice. If unchecked, it may become a major obstacle in the planning and implementation of development schemes. The provision of decent dwellings and healthy conditions for the people can only be achieved if land is used in the interest of society as a whole. The source on that is United Nations Conference of Human Settlement on Human Settlements, Habitat 1, Vancouver, British Columbia, May 31st to June 11th, 1976. Preamble to Agenda Item 10 of the conference report. Okay? Just saying. It goes on. As soon as I get back to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook, there we go. It goes on and says, there are two more very good reasons to be wary of Agenda 21 in the International Council on Local Environmental Initiatives. Get this, the International Council of Local Environmental Initiatives, ICLEY, or LEI, excuse me, that supports it. George Soros and the United Nations. Soros money has been tracked to funding parts of ICLEI. Quote, in 1997, George Soros Open Society gave ICLEI, or I don't know how you pronounce that, ICLEI, a $2,147,415 grant, free money, folks, to support its local Agenda 21 project. Okay? So far, so good. Currently in California, California's in the hole. Currently in California, Agenda 21 is working to implement plans to create plans for sustainable management of, get this, open spaces. The definition of what is to be considered an open space has sparked some heated exchanges between those directing the planning meetings and citizens who want private property rights to be respected and protected. The East Bay Tea Party video featuring a liberal Democrat arguing against ICLEI can be seen at the end of this article. This type of global plan, this type of global plan could not be implemented without a large and well-funded group pushing through its priorities. For that, Agenda 21 has the International Council of Local Environmental Initiatives, and the ICLEI is deeply entrenched in America. Quote, ICLEI USA was launched in 1995 has grown from a handful of local governments participating in a pilot project to a solid network of more than 600 cities, towns, and counties actively striving to achieve tangible reductions in, get this, folks, greenhouse gas emissions and create more sustainable communities. ICLEI USA is the domestic leader on climate protection, adaptation, and sustainable development at the local government level. Over 600 cities and towns and county in America are members of ICLEI. ICLEI. Do you support your local government agreeing to rules and regulations set up by a UN-based organization that wants private property transferred to government control? If you would like to see your community, if your community is a member of ICLEI, you can visit their website, which is, and I'll tell you that in a minute, that would be www.icleiusa.org. Austin, Texas is one city that seems to have fallen for the ICLI Agenda 21 and was heavily consuming the communitarianism Kool-Aid. A local group called Texas for Accountable Government saw what was happening and attempted to stop the Austin City Council from adopting some Agenda 21 friendly initiatives. One of TAG's members, John Bush, delivered a succinct presentation on ICLEI and Agenda 21 that was virtually ignored. There's a video. It says, watch this video argument against the proposed local law immediately followed by the lopsided vote adopting the plan. In the world of business, Agenda 21 is not a free market friend, preferring PPPs or private-public partnerships, where the government decides which companies will receive tax breaks and are allowed to stay in business. In light of this realization, the cozy relationship between the current administration and GE, a company that paid no tax in 2010, should raise eyebrows, and the White House efforts to tell Boeing in which state they can operate seems to further bolster the belief that Agenda 21 ideals are already making headway in America. The seeds of Agenda 21 were planted back in 1987 when the writings of Gro Harlem Brundtland, a woman who was first vice president of the Socialist International, caught the eye of the UN. Dr. Brundtland wrote a report for the UN called, quote, Our Common Future, unquote. Eventually got into the business of environmentalism as a tool to control all the people of the world and establish a global government. The growth of ICLEI and the framework being put in place by supporters of Agenda 21 appear to be bringing Dr. Brundtland's ideas closer to reality. In recent months, citizen groups across the country have organized and become involved in the removal of towns and cities from the membership of ICLEI. The Roanoke, Virginia Tea Party is holding a rally this week in an effort to have ICLEI removed from their local government. For a better understanding of Agenda 21 and ICLEI, we suggest the American Policy Center offers a one-page primer on Agenda 21. It's a bunch of videos on that article, so you might want to go check those out. Here's the bottom line, folks. We're screwed. If we don't stand up to these thugs of the United Nations, of the New World Order, of all of that, if we don't stand up and say enough's enough, then what? Then what? You tell me, email me, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. I know. What can we do, right? What can we do? George Soros, who funds Media Matters, who has representatives going to the White House every week to give them orders and their press people orders on how to present what is happening. It is all false. It is all fraud. It is all make-believe. It is fake. What you see on your TV is completely and utterly bull crap. Okay? A lot of my friends look at me and go, why are you talking like that? Why, Yeah, they say some good things. They give you the warm and fuzzies, and then they stab you in the back. They say, oh, there was a child born today to a mother who was, and they give you all the warm and fuzzies. They give you all those great stories, the humanitarian stories. You know why? Because they have to suck you into their newscast. Okay? Why do you think we don't have a TV? Well, other than that, it broke, but yeah, the picture tube's going out. That's a side note. Next article I want to get into probably at the after the top of the hour break, but let me give you a little bit. Now I'll come back and finish it up. Actually, it's really short, and I'll give you my view on it before the break. There's a picture on there of Obama and Putin. Obama's in, at a carnival. He's playing golf. He's swimming. He's on The View. He's riding a bike. He's eating ice cream. But Putin, by the way, Putin was an agent of the KGB. And he's still pulling the strings in Russia. And there's a picture there of him and Obama. And Putin has got a rifle in his hand. He's out hunting. He's on horseback. He's fishing. He's in karate. He's out fishing in the sea or doing something. I don't know what he's doing, but yeah, he's showing himself as being one of the men. He's a man. Okay, he's out there. He's on horseback. He's out hunting. He's out fishing. He's karate. This is what I'm talking about. They pull you in psychologically because it's already there. Wow, Putin doesn't look that bad. No, he doesn't. Hey, there's a picture there of him fishing. I'll go out fishing with him. I don't like his politics. I don't like the way he runs things. But if he's friendly, I can go fishing with him. The same thing with Barack Obama. I'll fish with him. I don't mind. I'll go play golf. Because I don't hate these people. I hate what they do. They're puppets. That's all they are. They're puppets of the New World Order. They're puppets of the global elites. They're puppets of George Soros, of the Rockefellers, of the Rothschilds, of the Bilderberg Group, of every nation that makes that up, by the way. You can go check that out as well. They were formed in 1954 in a Hotel Bilderberg in Switzerland. Go check it out, okay? Please, thank you. You don't have to believe me. You can at least go check this out for yourself. I look at this stuff and I give, people the information and I'm like, I always seem to get people that look at me and go, oh, you're one of them. I'm like, excuse me, what? What do you mean, one of them? Okay? Oh, you're one of those guys that think the government's after you. Yeah, they are. You're one of those people that believe in them conspiracy theories. It's not a theory anymore, folks. It's right there in the open. Well, they never said that on my local news. They won't. They're not allowed to. They want to suck you into their newscast. They want to feed you all this little stuff. They don't want you to be educated to find out what's beyond their walls, your walls, or what else is beyond the news. They don't want you to do that. I've studied the news. By the way, I took journalism in school, okay? So I know how it works. And the tactics that the journalists on TV use and what they're told to use. By the way, did you know that some news organizations, I believe it's Fox or CNN, one of the two, I'm not sure, literally has former military, PSYOP program leaders and people that ran those programs for the military actually teach the journalist how they are supposed to talk to you on camera. It is on record. Go look it up. I know I'm telling you what to do. I'm sorry. Would you please go look that up? You don't have to believe me, okay? Sorry, I got into my radio voice there for a minute. See, this is such a laid-back show. Yeah, my radio. I got a radio voice, yeah. Welcome to the Liberty and Freedom Network. See, I can do that. Hey, by the way, we got 3 minutes before the break, top of the hour break. If you need somebody to do voiceovers, hello. I'm right here. So, you know, it's pretty, no, I love it. It's great, you know. I like people who I can engage, you know, who I can talk to, who I can, you know, it's what it is, you know. If I can help people understand what's going on, if I can help people with their, you know, if I can help people understand how things are, my day's good. I'm fine. But if I tell people and like friends of mine, I tell them what's going on and I show them this and I give them a website and they look at me going, yeah, whatever. You're just one of them types of people. Yeah. You know, I don't want to. Yeah, okay. You know, I don't know. Smile, because you know what? You got cameras all over the streets. And I think it's in Farmington, Michigan. They're going to have cameras all over the streets with microphones and video screens and all of that. And that's happening everywhere. Michael Bloomberg is telling you that you can't have a 32-ounce soda or big popcorn at the movies and all that. Well, you know, Nanny Bloomberg can bite me in the ass. New York and California has pretty much banned all guns unless they're in your house locked up with your weapon in one place and your ammo in another. That's kind of stupid. That's a violation of the Second Amendment. Oh, wait, we don't have that anymore because of President Obama's signature on the NDAA, virtually gutting the Constitution and the Bill of Rights on December 31st, 2011. Now we have this arms trade treaty going through or coming into Congress. When he signs it, we virtually have no protection whatsoever. Okay? He's going to take away the Second Amendment at that point. Seriously. Go look it up. Arms Trade Treaty. UN Small Arms Treaty. Go check it out. This is the views expressed right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network for the 29th of November 2012, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Do you want liberty-minded radio? There's no other straightforward radio you will ever hear than The Angel Clark Show. Join Angel Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern at www.radiofreedom.us. That's The Angel Clark Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern at radiofreedom.us. Listen to the Sandy Fox Show. playing a variety of music including rock, pop, and country. The Sandy Fox Show is a production of the Force Radio Network. You can find her and all of the great FRN shows on Spreaker.com, Icedcast.org, and by searching for Force Internet Radio on TuneIn.com. You can also find great mobile apps on TuneIn.com to take the live shows and replays with you. The Force Radio Network, real radio for real people. Want more entertainment value than your dollar can buy you at the movies? Listen to the Chris Top Program on Spreaker.com.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the lamestream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Come listen to Journey into Light with your host Michael Long. This show is about looking into the afterlife. Where do our souls go from here? What are the true messages from above? Everybody is family, so make a journey into light with Michael Long your home. With the best guests on the show, they share the love with all who call in and those who are in the chat room. That's Journey into Light with Michael Long, Sunday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, on blogtalkradio.com/Journey into the Light. Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor looking to hone your abilities? Are you a writer looking for actors? Then Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is for you. If you are a voice actor or a writer of sci-fi themed radio plays, send your information to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. For more information, go to eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/EastlandFilms for more information. If you are a voice actor, send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. This is the views expressed for the 29th of November 2012. This is the Liberty and Freedom Network broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. You can email us here at Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate that very, very much. If you're in the chat room, if you're listening live and you're in the chat room or you see a little box down there, you just drop in, say hi. If you got a show on Spreaker, please let me know what it is. I'll promote it right now. I'm not one of those hosts that say, well, I got to get to know you first before. No. Really? Seriously? I want to give a little shout out to ViperRadio.com. Yes, those people, I know some of those people over there. They're awesome folks, especially Terra Normal, the not so normal Terra Normal show. Go to ViperRadio.com. Check that one out. They have scheduled up there. They have, you name it, they got it. Okay, go check it out. ViperRadio.com. That's VYPER radio.com. Thank you. Hey, also go check out KTRNradio.com. Check out what shows they have over there. Jay Towers, Brian Keller, all that. Go check them out. And one more. MobsterBossRadio.com. MobsterBossRadio.com. Check them out. They have an announcement, or had an announcement a week or so ago. I don't know how far they've gotten or anything of that nature. So I don't know. Go to MobsterBossRadio.com. Check all that out. Matter of fact, I am going to go there now and tell you if there's anything up. Okay? Let's see. Yeah, you know, their site needs to change because it really does. I'm serious. It just has to be a little more, it has to be easier to get to, okay? It just has to be easier to get to. There are no messages that I can see on the site that I could tell. So they're different. All I can say is that they are different. You may or may not like them, may not be your cup of tea, I don't know. But they are now on terrestrial radio. Yes. They're not, they came from the internet. They came from Ustream and Spreaker.com, and now they're on terrestrial radio. So they don't have too much information on the site right now. So go to Mobster Boss Radio Live on Spreaker. Check out. They may have gotten some more information as well there. But anyway, back to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. The newest version of the NDAA makes it easier to detain citizens indefinitely. At first glance, it looks like the 2013 version of the National Defense Authorization Act did more to protect Americans against indefinite detention. We and several other news organizations, we being A Sheep No More on Facebook, says we and several other news organizations reported as much yesterday. But, don't you hate it when a sentence begins with but? But on closer examination, the new NDAA actually makes it easier to detain citizens indefinitely. Here's the added clause. Quote, Nothing in the AUMF or the 2012 NDAA shall be construed to deny the availability of the writ of habeas corpus or to deny any constitutional rights in a court ordained or established by or under Article 3 of the Constitution for any person who is lawfully in the United States when detained pursuant to the AUMF and who is otherwise entitled to the availability of such writ or such rights, unquote. Yesterday, a Sheep No More said, it says here, yesterday, we focused on the line, quote, nothing shall be construed to deny any constitutional rights, unquote. Okay? But today, a Sheep No More says, we offer another interpretation from Bruce Afrin, a lawyer for the group of journalists and activists suing the government over 2012 NDAA. Afrin explained that although a new provision gives the U.S. citizens a right to go to civilian, i.e. Article 3, court based on any applicable constitutional rights, but since there are no rules in place to exercise this right, detained U.S. citizens currently have no way to gain access to lawyers, family, or the court itself once they are detained within the military. Okay? Quote, the biggest thing about the 2012 NDAA was that you weren't getting a trial. Nothing in here says that you'll make it to an Article 3 court to it, so it literally does nothing, unquote. Dan Johnson, founder of People Against the NDAA, told BI, quote, it's a bunch of words, basically, unquote. Afrin noted that the newest version actually goes further than the NDAA that's now in effect. Quote, the new statute actually states that persons lawfully in the U.S. can be detained under the authorization. Get this. The new statute actually states that persons lawfully in the U.S., you and I, folks, can be detained under the authorization, you might want to write this down and look this up, authorization for the use of military force, period. The original, the statute we are fighting in court, never went that far, Afrin said. Quote, therefore, under the guise of supposedly adding protection to Americans, the new statute actually expands the AUMF to civilians in the U.S., unquote. You see? Told you. We're screwed. A group of journalists and activists, I'm continuing now, a group of journalists and activists have sued the government over the indefinite detention provisions of Section 1 of 1021 of the 2012 NDAA, which allow the government to indefinitely detain anyone who commits, quote, a belligerent act, unquote, or provides, quote, substantial support, unquote, to the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, or quote, associated forces, unquote, considering that the Al-Qaeda is on record controlled and funded by the CIA and our military. Continuing, on the grounds that certain terms were unconstitutionally vague and could chill free speech. Look at that. This is important, folks. A group of journalists and activists have sued the government over the indefinite detention provisions of Section 1021, might want to read 1022 as well, of the 2012 NDAA, which allow the government to indefinitely detain anyone who commits a belligerent act or provides substantial support to the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, or associated forces on the grounds that certain terms were unconstitutionally vague and could chill free speech. The provisions were permanently blocked by Judge Catherine Forrest, but went back into effect after appeals court judge Raymond Lohr reinstated them in October because he agreed with the government that Section 1021 was simply a reaffirmation of the AUMF, which gives the president the authority to indefinitely detain anyone involved in carrying out the 9/11 terrorist attacks. No, it doesn't. By the way, Judge Catherine Forrest put that in, and guess what? The very next day, that night, actually, after she said, this other judge, Raymond Lohr, reinstated it, said no. Boom. And this is a judge that President Obama or one of his minions sent to do this. Okay? The newest the newest version of the NDAA seems to be equating the AUMF and Section 1021 of the 2012 NDAA, which the government has argued all along, and thereby codifies precisely what the plaintiffs are fighting in court. All of this makes the lawsuit, which will probably go all the way to the Supreme Court, central to the issue of the indefinite detention of Americans. The bottom line, according to Afrin, is that the NDAA, quote, is still unconstitutional because it allows citizens or persons in the U.S. to be held in military custody, a position that the Supreme Court has repeatedly held is unconstitutional. You can go click on that on the Liberty and Freedom Network. It'll take you to businessinsider.com for that article. So many things that we just need to know. But even though we need to know them, are there people who have the guts to get up and go do something about it? Really? Check this out. Check this out. This, parents, you got kids in school? Solitary confinement? Parents concerned over school's use of quote-unquote isolation room. Longview, Washington. A concerned mother who posted photos of an isolation booth in a Longview elementary school on Facebook said she wanted other parents to know how the school uses the space. The school principal said the padded room is used for students who have behavioral disabilities. Quote, how come they're not providing documentation about how this quote-unquote therapeutic booth is beneficial, unquote, said Bate, maybe the mother. Quote, show me some real numbers. Show me something from the medical community that says more times than not, and all the documentation that backs it up. Don't tell me, well, their parents said we could do it, unquote. There's a YouTube video associated with that link on Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. There's just so much. There's so much. Next generation of airport scanners will scan every molecule in your body. I may have time to get through this before the break. Let's find out. If not, we'll finish it up on the other side. Next generation of airport scanners will scan every single molecule in your body. New airport scanners used by the Transportation Security Administration are already too revealing and potentially very dangerous to your health. Potentially? I don't think so. They are. That's why they're taking them out in some airports now, because they're putting this in. But they're going to seem tame by comparison once the next generation of scanners arrives, and they are on their way. The U.S. government is developing what are called picosecond programmable laser scanners through the Department of Homeland Security. Machines that will be capable of scanning every single molecule in your body. What's worse, especially in terms of privacy, travelers likely won't even know they're being watched, since the machine can be operated from a distance in excess of 150 feet, according to some reports. The scanner, which Homeland Security officials believe could be ready to use within a few years, will be employed in airports, but it is going to be small and light enough to be very portable, meaning it could also be installed in any building or deployed along any street. It is reportedly 10 million times faster and 1 million times more sensitive than scanners currently used by the TSA and U.S. Border Patrol and customs agents at border crossings and ports of entry. According to a report by Gizmodo.com, the government subcontracted with the CIA's Venture Capital Technology Acquisition Branch, In-Q-Tel, to work on development of the device with Genia, Genia, Photonics. Now, write this out because it is very important. There's 3 things there. Or 2, actually. You can go to Gizmodo.com, check all that out. But In-Q-Tel, the letter Q hyphen tel, T-E-L, to work on development of the device with Genia, Genia, Photonics, Photonics, a company that has acquired 30 patents relating to the molecule-level scanners. According to the Genia, the scanner is able to, quote, penetrate clothing and many other organic materials and officers' spectroscopic information, especially for materials that impact safety, such as explosives and pharmacological substances. Unquote. They're getting rid of the scanners, the naked body scanners, and they're going to see clear down into your molecules. Yeah, how do you like those apples? How do you like this? Oh, getting down to the bottom of the break. From Free Enterprise, from freeenterprise.com. Social Security does add to the deficit, and that's why it needs to be reformed. We'll get into that after the break. These naked body scanners are being used all over they're also being taken out of the airports they've been used in, and they're going to smaller airports, your community airports, municipal airports. We have the Reno International Airport here, and they're in there as well. Okay? People have yelled and screamed and, said they want them out and all this, that, and the other thing. And, unless you file a lawsuit, you're never going to get them out of your airport. Again, these things the new ones coming in are not going to be ready, as some reports say, not ready for a few years. But I believe they're already made. Considering the fact that Michael Chertoff, who ran the company and made billions of dollars on these x-ray machines, because he owned the company, had these already made, why do you think they went in so quickly after 9/11? Okay? Somebody set everything up. 9/11 is an inside job, folks, period. End of sentence. Go look at the videos. Go look at all the evidence. It's there. And I say 1,500 architects and engineers are not wrong. Okay? Neither are the firemen that went in there and heard explosions and came out. And I give them props, man. Okay? So what? You're going to sit there and say, well, it's keeping us safe. Has there ever been a terrorist on the plane? Have we been attacked in the last 11 years? No? Well, then, there you go. It works. No, it doesn't. The TSA people, the workers, the people there next to these machines, and the people walking through the machines are getting cancer. The rate of cancer has gone up around these machines at Boston Logan International Airport and other airports in Chicago and Florida, Los Angeles. Cancer rates are exploding from these people. Okay, the rates are just going through the roof because the backscatter of these machines. Okay? When I went to Canada in 2005, they wanded me. They had a wand. That sounded weird. They had a wand, a little, wand, and they told me to take off my shoes. Not a big deal. That was when they were doing that. And that's all I had. I didn't walk through these scanners. They had the rectangle ones like you see in your courthouses. They had those. That was pretty much what they had. Okay? Where I left, and that was in Sacramento, California. I left from the international flights at Sacramento, California. So, yeah. I just, I don't... I don't know. I don't know why people cannot grasp any of this. There are people like me who are awake and aware and we know what's going on and yeah, hey, great, let's get the word out. But then other people are looking at us or me specifically going, really, that's not happening. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's happening. It's really happening. We're going to go to break. It's not that long. It's not that long of a break. Okay. About 2 minutes, 2.5, somewhere around in there. We're not going to be gone long, so we got like 30 minutes left of the show. So anyway, this is the Liberty and Freedom Network for the 29th of November, 2012. This is The Views Expressed. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. And I shall be back after this. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. That is from 1984 by George Orwell. Do you really want to know what's going on? Come listen to The Views Express, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on the Liberty and Freedom Network.
Samo Radio, playing music for free so you can listen longer. Samo.
It's the 5 o'clock drive with Samo.
Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What's on your mind? Chances are it's on their mind too. Check out Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Only on Spreaker.com. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce for the Views Express, right here for the 29th of November 2012. Email us at libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. See, that wasn't a long break, was it? See? I'm still here. Are you there? Pop yourself into the chat room, say hi. I go to Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Check things out. Also, Social Security does add to the deficit, and that's why it needs to be reformed. You can't fix America's fiscal mess without reforming the programs that account for 60% of the federal budget, entitlements including Social Security and Medicare. The U.S. Chamber and other business organizations warned the White House and members of Congress, quote, "If we do not make sensible reforms, the programs will go bankrupt, and so will the nation," unquote. The nation's already bankrupt. Fixing these programs only become harder when Senator Dick Durbin, Democrat of Illinois, claims that the Social Security, quote, "doesn't add a penny to the deficit," unquote. And when the White House press secretary, Tim Carney, says, quote, "Social Security currently is not a driver of the deficit," unquote. These statements aren't true, as a number of media outlets pointed out in 2011. The Washington Post reported, quote, "Social Security is sucking money out of the Treasury. This year, it will add a projected $46 billion to the nation's budget problems, according to projections by system trustees," unquote. Okay? Follow me so far. FactCheck.org wrote, quote, "Some senior Democrats are claiming that the Social Security does not contribute, quote, 1 penny, unquote, to the federal deficit. That's not true. The fact is, the federal government had to borrow $37 billion last year to finance Social Security and will need to borrow more this year. The red ink is projected to total well over $500 billion in the coming decade," unquote. By the way, a day after Thanksgiving, President Obama, I don't know if he did, but I know the Treasury had to borrow more money. Obviously, he had to sign off on it, according to some reports. Continuing, and on the pages of the New York Times, Alicia Munell, a member of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Clinton, wrote, quote, "But in reality, scheduled Social Security benefits and current payroll taxes are included in long-term deficit projections by the Congressional Budget Office, the Office of Management and Budget, and the Government Accountability Office. These projections matter. Policymakers, investors, and bond markets use them to gauge the nation's fiscal health. Since a shortfall in Social Security is embedded in these projections, eliminating that shortfall would substantially improve the long-term budget outlook and nation's credit worthiness. Ignoring reality doesn't get any closer to reaching a solution. Social Security and other entitlement programs are a major burden on America's fiscal health. They have to be reformed to reduce the deficit and debt levels while ensuring that they continue to exist for the elderly and sick. I got a solution for you. How about privatizing the whole damn thing? Why not just give us all the money? Let us go out and buy our own health insurance. Screw Medicare and Medicaid. I know some of you people on disability are going, no! Yeah? What? Hold on. Stop yelling and let me explain. You have more money in your pocket. You can go out and get your own health coverage. But it's going to cost me. So what? It's going to cost you. You've got Medicare, and then you have Medicare Part A, B, C, D, E, F, and all the rest of the alphabet. That's costing you money. It's coming out of your check. If you had your full check, or a card, whatever you get it on now, you're able to go out and take that money and buy your own health coverage. Privatize Social Security, period. That's why I have heard most businesses now, not all, but most that I have heard, are eliminating their health coverage program because of Obamacare. And the smart thing to do is to eliminate all of it and give the workers all of the money. Because if you're working for, let's say, $9 an hour, your company is paying actually $12, $13, $14, sometimes $15 an hour. Okay? So why not just eliminate all of that, give you all of that money so you can go out and buy your own private health insurance? Why not? And you people on Social Security, disability, retirement, or whatever, if you're newly retired, wouldn't you like to have all your money in your, coming to you every month? Screw Medicare and Medicaid. Buy your own health care. You take all the money and buy your own health care. That's just the way it is. Seems smart to me. I don't know. If you have the figures on that in comparison, with people on disability, Social Security, whatever, what would be the cost? What's the difference between getting rid of Medicare and Medicaid and taking all the money and all that and buying your own as compared to staying on the system? How much savings would there be? One, for the government, and two, for you. Send me those figures, please, because I don't have them in front of me. You can send those figures to Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Okay? Please, I want to know. I'm curious. Okay? Plus, I want to share it with you people. Hey, let's bring it down to a local level, shall we? To Reno, Nevada. This has gotten me so pissed off that blood is shooting from my eyes. Okay? This has gotten me to the point where we all need to watch what our state does. By the way, we the people need to hold our politicians accountable for what they do and responsible for what they do and accountable for their actions. We need to hold their feet to the fire. And if we don't, you know what? You might as well just go wipe your feet off on the welcome mat at the FEMA camp, because that's where they're going to take you. Okay? Oh, they're there. Go look around. There's 6 of them built here in the United States right now. There's many other closed military bases that are being, well, let's put it this way, remodeled to hold you. Okay? If you don't think it will ever happen, why don't you go and research the internment camps of 1939 to 1943 in the United States of America? And if you still don't believe that, why don't you send an email to actor George Takei? Yes, Star Trek. Sulu. He was a child in one of those. It will happen again. Just looking around and seeing the trends and seeing what's happened, I will say, yes, I guarantee it. I am confident it will happen. Let's take the guarantee out of it. I am confident it will happen again. But we have to stand up to it. What, you guys are too wimpy and don't have the balls to do that? Huh. Locally here from KOLO 8 News Now, they said young illegal immigrants can get Nevada license. Thank you, Harry Reid. Immigrants brought to the United States illegally. What part of illegal don't they understand? Immigrants brought to the United States illegally as children and granted a temporary reprieve by President Obama to remain in the country will be eligible for Nevada driver's license. The Las Vegas Sun reports the state will honor employment authorization cards issued to applicants by the Department, get this, the Department of Homeland Security. The photo IDs have been issued to other non-citizens in the country legally and have been accepted by the DMV since at least 1999. Governor Brian Sandoval tells the newspaper that he supports the state policy, but at least one Republican lawmaker says the Nevada legislature should consider the question when it meets in early 2013. Senator James Settlemeyer of Minden says the issue is too important to be decided at the agency level. No, put it on the books. Put it on the books. Put it on the ballot. Let us vote for it. No, but they're going to go behind our backs, folks. You know why? Because the illegal immigrants, I don't even call them immigrants, the illegal aliens are here because the Democrats, the far left liberal socialist, the Democrats, the progressives want votes, period. This pisses me off more than anything. They're illegal. What part of illegal don't you understand, jackass? Mr. Harry Reid? Who the hell do you think you are? What, you're not going to go... You put your hand on a Bible and pledged to protect the Constitution of the United States of America. And what are you doing? I'm sorry, I just want to... I want to scream is what I want to do. But I can't because I don't want to blow your eardrums out. This has gone too far. This has gone too far. The craziness has to stop. I am a firm believer that we need to close the southern border. How are we going to do that? There's this thing called the militia. Why don't we have all them on the border? Because, you know, damn well President Obama's not going to send any military down to the border because they're too busy overseas fighting illegal wars that we got into or that were developed through false flag events. Oh yeah. So the word goes out to those in Southern California, to those in Southern Arizona, to those in Southern New Mexico, for those in Southern Texas. You are Americans, and your obligation and duty is to protect your family, your friends, and the United States of America. That's all I'm saying. Pisses me off. They're illegal. Get the hell out. We had several years ago, we had a local fast food establishment here. ICE went in there. ATF went in there. Immigration went in there. Just a whole bunch of people from the federal government went into one of these fast food joints here and busted them. The guy had to pay out, I think it was like $10,000 fine. Oh, I'm sure if it had anything to do with the government, they took him out back, gave him green cards, and said, go back to work. That's what they did at the Gibson plant, or not Gibson plant, that's what they did at the meat plant in Oregon, or some plant. Yeah. This country is now a socialist North American Union run by the UN. And Mexicans that want to come over here for a free and all that. No. What part of broke don't you understand? This country is in the toilet, just waiting for somebody to push the handle. Okay? Why the hell would anybody want to come here? It's a socialist country now. Thank you. Why? I am an American citizen, born and raised right here. You want to come to this country, you better damn well do it legally. And by the way, take a couple of years every day and learn English. Because this is an English-speaking country. And I'll be damned if I want to hear your national language. Oh, yeah, somebody's going to, oh, you're prejudiced, you're racist, you're... No. I have friends from every race, creed, and religion you can think of. And guess what? Most of them are Mexican. Yeah. And guess what they say? They don't want them here. Why the hell are they coming over illegally? They can just do it legally. They don't like it. There was a thing last year in San Francisco. Somebody was wearing, at a school, a student at a school was wearing, a Mexican student at a school was wearing an American flag. And the school said, take it off, you're offending other people. Excuse me? I'm going to pull out what hair I got left. This irritates the hell out of me. Because you know why? I'm going to make it real simple. You know why it irritates me? Because there's no common sense anymore. There's no common sense. Where the hell did it go? These politicians have their head so far up their ass that when they fart, they'll give themselves a migraine. So what the hell are these people doing? I'm gonna go to break, because if I don't, yeah. Can you say pissed? Okay, I thought you could. This is the Liberty and Freedom Network. I'm Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. You're listening to the views expressed. I shall return right after this.
Late Night in the Midlands is an alternative media that covers the truth, theory, and fact that the lamestream media won't talk about. We cover everything from the known and the unknown, the normal and the paranormal, the government lies and the government ties, and even their thrive. We tell what's coming, what's going, whether it be politics or archaeologists. We have an amazing fan base, and our shows are all archived to be heard millions of times more. So tell your friends, your family, and anybody you care about LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Become a member and be informed.
Come listen to Journey into Light with your host, Michael Long. The show is about looking into the afterlife. Where do our souls go from here? What are the true messages from above? Everybody is family, so make a Journey into Light with Michael Long your home. With the best guests on the show, they share the love with all who call in and those who are in the chat room. That's Journey into Light with Michael Long, Sunday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, on blogtalkradio.com/Journey into the Light. Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is looking for you. Are you a voice actor looking to hone your abilities? Are you a writer looking for actors? Then Eastland Sci-Fi Radio Theater is for you. If you are a voice actor or a writer of sci-fi themed radio plays, send your information to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. For more information, go to eastlandradiofilms.wix.com/EastlandFilms for more information. If you are a voice actor, send your audition clips to Eastland Radio Films at USA.com. This is the views expressed on the Liberty and Freedom Network. Email us at libertyandfreedomnetwork at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Yes, here I am. Yes, we have a few minutes left. This is a short segment here, and I just want to say that if I have, in the previous rant, if I have offended anyone, my apologies sincerely. Okay? I'm apologizing to those I have offended. For those that agree with me, please email me at Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. Liberty and Freedom Network at USA.com. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. That is from 1984 by George Orwell. Do you really want to know what's going on? Come listen to The Views Express, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, only on the Liberty and Freedom Network.
Samo Radio, playing music for free so you can listen longer. Samo.
It's the 5 o'clock drive with Samo.
Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
What's on your mind? Chances are it's on their mind too. Check out Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Friday evenings at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Only on Spreaker.com. Welcome back. This is the Views Expressed right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Go to Spreaker.com. That would be www.Spreaker.com. Spreaker.com. Scroll on down to the bottom, see plans, and they've got a plan to fit your budget. Now, there's so many things going on. Whoops, sorry. There were so many things going on. Let me give you the last item of the night. Liberty and Freedom Foundation, not my group. My group is Liberty and Freedom Network on Facebook. Liberty and Freedom Network. They're on Facebook. Liberty and Freedom Foundation is also on Facebook. They said this: Obama wants $1.6 trillion tax hike and no cuts to entitlements. Senator McConnell laughs in Geithner's face at the offer. Senator Mitch McConnell, the Senate Minority Leader, laughed in the face of Obama Treasury Secretary and tax cheat Geithner when he brought Obama's proposal to him. Obama wants an unprecedented $1.6 trillion tax hike that includes higher rates, higher capital gains, higher dividend taxes, a cap on deductions, and a minimum tax rate. But wants absolutely no cuts. We don't often support McConnell, but we back him 100%. The offer deserves a laugh in the face, which is what Obama is doing to the American people after he suckered them into voting for him. No, he stole the election like George W. Bush did. Check the Florida thing. The courts just went, what are you doing this for? Boom. And down below that it says, click like if you also laugh in the face of Obama and tax cheat Geithner and think their quote-unquote offer to put the biggest tax hike in history on the backs of the job creators, but refuse to cut entitlements because his voters think they deserve them, is a slap in the face to all Americans. I'm clicking like. There is 890 likes on this thing, okay? So that would be Liberty and Freedom Foundation on Facebook. My group, Liberty and Freedom Network. Remember that. Liberty and Freedom Network, okay? Matter of fact, I will share that on the Liberty and Freedom Network Facebook page. So you can go check that out there. I want to thank everyone today on this Thursday for being here and for listening to me and listening to me rant. Again, I apologize if I offended anyone. I have friends from every race, creed, and religion, and I don't mean to offend. Email me, libertyandfreedomnetwork@usa.com. Liberty and Freedom Network @usa.com. And go to the website, freeamericaradio.wix.com, the views expressed. We're here Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow we have, hopefully, I did get confirmation, so we will have Angel Clark from The Angel Clark Show. Go check her show out, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern at radiofreedom.us. She also has blogs at SussexCountyAngel.com. That's right. That's what it is. You've been listening to the views expressed right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network for the 29th of November, 2012. Thank you all for being here. We're here Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. To 6 p.m. Pacific. And I hope to see you or hear you or see you in the chat room tomorrow. I really do. Come by and check us out. 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Liberty and Freedom Network, broadcasting live on Spreaker.com. Remember this, we the people have the power, for we are America.